Hey everybody, how you doing? It is lunchtime. It's a little bit after 12, but that's all right, It's lunchtime and we are here with another great episode of Lunchtime Talk with Steve. Today we are talking about kidology. We're talking about all different kind of things. So I have Nicole, and she brought along her business partner with her, and we're gonna come back and talk to them in just a moment, right? So go ahead and share it out with your friends, your relatives, everybody. Share it on your favorite group. Let them know that Steve is on. I'll be right back with you. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820. If your car could talk, it would say call Kervin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Kervin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving, shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving. Come on down and shuck it and jive and Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck It.
All right, as promised, we are back, and now let's go ahead and meet our guest today. Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, Steve. Thank you for having us.
How are you? Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it. So go ahead and introduce yourselves to our viewers.
Yes. So I'm Nicole. I'm with Kidology Enterprise.
Did we just lose? Oh, no, go ahead.
Yep. I'm Nicole. I'm with Kidology Enterprises.
I'm Kashawn Frazier with Fitness at Your Door.
All right. Now, tell me a little bit about, well, first let's start with Kidology. What exactly is Kidology?
Yes. So Kidology is an educational enrichment program which specializes in delivering life skills, fitness, and STEAM education to students in grades K to 12.
Mm-hmm. And Kid at Your Door, what is that? I mean, that sounds like a delivery service. You need a kid for income tax purposes.
Fitness at your door.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you still.
Oh no! You said yeah. No.
So what Fitness at Your Door is Kfit was my personal brand, and I expanded my brand to Fitness at Your Door, which is bringing personal trainers, any type of fitness, to your location at the convenience of your time. So my niche is really anybody looking to get fit. It's a customized plan for you. And most of all, we usually work with a lot of families for the most part, and young athletes trying to get to college and just get better in skill development.
So basically, what you're saying then is, I mean, you are like the personal trainer that come to your house. If I, cool. That's actually a really good idea. How is that working for you now during the pandemic? Are you finding that more people are wanting you to come to their house, because they're kind of shut in, or how's that working out?
I would say it's 50-50. It's been a great influx because obviously all the competition, which is the gym, it's pretty much out of business. And if you do go, most of the machines aren't working, or you're waiting, or people just don't even feel safe in the environment. So what my company does, wherever your zip code or wherever you may be, kind of comparing it to like the Uber of personal training, whatever location you are in, I pretty much match personalities, match what your needs are, and give you that type of trainer who could supply that need, that's convenient to you. So we create a gym atmosphere wherever you are, whether it's the park, in your backyard, wherever you want to be. We come to you. So there's no
So,
excuses.
so, how did, so how did you guys team up? What's the connection there?
Yeah, so actually, the connection started, it was a mutual friend. I was pretty much stating that I was looking to partner with another organization that could actually handle our fitness component. So, last year we served about 2,000 students. And as the business is growing, we've been in business for about 5 years. We're looking at how can we, sustain our clientele and also become more enterprising with the types of services that we're offering. So, Kashan and I met, and this was in the beginning of the pandemic, and I learned about Fitness at Your Door, and I fell in love with just, not what he does, but why does he do it? And so, as we spent a little bit more time just learning about each other and our interests and our passion and our goals, I was able to see where we could synchronize both of our talents and actually, do a partnership with Kidology. And, currently now with the pandemic going on, and, certain schools are not going to be back up in session, and some parents choose to homeschool, but they don't know how. Kidology, we went ahead and Kashan and I spoke about creating a homeschool environment that goes directly to the families. Well, we'll be there to work with the school's curriculum and then also incorporate the DIY with Kidology, the art and science kit, so that the students have some project-based learning to experiment with, and then also to incorporate Kashan's company, Fitness at Your Door, where we have trainers that come in and work with the families, with weekly or however often that they would want that to permit. And so that's pretty much how the partnership started between the both of us.
All right, and now with the school boards actually thinking about doing, well, the superintendent already said he's going to just do straight homeschool and distant learning. Is that gonna increase your business? Are you gonna have to get more people on board with you? What's your game plan going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're hiring right now. I just put an ad out there on Indeed and shared it with a few groups in Facebook. But this definitely does call for intervention. It calls for like-minded people to come together and to implement these programs where they're needed, which is exactly at the home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
no. And then just talking about hiring great people. There's obviously millions of trainers, but also what I've talked to uh, Nicole about, just in general, the right people. Um, there's millions of trainers. Uh, I'm really big on, it's not how tired I get you, is what I teach you. We're preaching the
Mm.
overall healthier lifestyle, bringing families together, um, not only physical health but mental health, and showing them importance of being healthy, and teaching them that this is just not an overnight thing. This is something that
Mm-hmm.
you have to live, you have to breathe, you have to eat right, you have to do it on your own, and bringing fun back into fitness, because I feel like everybody thinks that fitness has to be super organized. You have
What
to,
you see on TV though? You always see the guy on TV that's just yelling and screaming at people. Come on,
and
do this. I gotta do 5 miles. 5 miles.
yeah,
If I
and
want
that's
to
not what it's really
marry,
about. What I've learned, especially when doing a lot of group fitness, because my niche is kids and families,
uh,
the more you can make it interactive and make it fun and make it just a cooperative activity, that's what the people love. At the end of the day, if you don't make it fun, you're not going to stay consistent with the program, and you're not going to want to do it. So that's just what we try to do when we come to training.
Right. And one thing
so,
I love about Kashan's program is that, he comes from a background where he played in the Canadian Football League and former NFL, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, former NFL player. And so his training specializes working with kids who want to build up their athletic abilities, also for family fitness as well. And I just find that there's so much, there's a bonding that happens when you work out with your family and when you're doing activities together. And so with his program that promotes the fitness and also the educational piece of it, going to school and obtaining an education, and then with Kidology's mission of being all about the children and the families, empowering and strengthening communities, it was just like a win-win for us to form this partnership, starting effective in the pandemic, in the midst of it.
Definitely.
so, so here's a question. So now, okay, so with a lot of the people, well, all the people in Broward County with the students being homeschool or distant learning, as they call it, they don't call it homeschool. I don't know why. Um, but who pays for, like, if you come there as part of their gym class or part of their PE class, does the school board cover that or do the parents cover that?
Well, that's actually something that we are looking into. We haven't seen any, we've been actively looking and seeing how we could possibly merge with these, grants that are out there to help
Mhm.
fund the distant learning. But as of now, it's private pay. The parents pay directly for the activities and for the services that we'll
Mhm.
provide.
All right. So, because I mean, I would think that the school board would actually want to pick up some of that tab, especially since
Yeah.
they're spending a lot of money. Um,
Oh yeah, trust me, it's all in the mommy groups. I mean, I'm part of a lot of them in Facebook, and a lot of them are saying like, "Hey, we pay taxes, so what is the school board going to do to help us offset the cost of funding our child's education moving forward?" So I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
yeah. So what else do you? Kidology is more than just the fitness portion of it, though, right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's. Mhm.
Go ahead. What's the other? What are some of the other aspects of Kidology?
Yep. So we have the life skills component, and then we also have the STEAM component of it, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And with the STEAM component, we have DIY kits, do-it-yourself kits, which range from anywhere in science, technology, engineering, art, and math. It could be photography, cooking, um, engineering, science. I mean, our experiments range from creating slime to making a cardboard robot that actually moves and that responds to functions and commands and computer coding. So we have the kits that we mail out, and I could say since the pandemic starting to probably about date, we've sold over 1,000 kits.
Wow. That's
So yeah, we sold over 1,000 kits, and we've had some that have been just out of state. And then what we also did was we invested our money back into the community by hiring a local delivery service to go ahead and deliver the kits to the families that were local to us. So that was also a really big thing of kind of recirculating the dollars in our community, given that a lot of companies were going out of business. due to the pandemic. So with that being said, that's the STEAM part of Kidology. The life skills portion, we focus on things that are very essential to a child's development, such as
Mhm.
etiquette, communication, mental wellness, financial literacy. And then if a child wants to learn how to become an entrepreneur, that class is available. So if you go on our website, kidologyenterprises.com, the virtual academy, you have full range and full access to taking any of the life skill classes. And then, of course, picking the DIY box that you would like to experiment with. And in our virtual academy online, it gives you a video step-by-step instruction on how to complete each experiment from the comfort of your home.
That's very good. And what's the cost on one of those kits? If a parent wanted to order. And the other thing is, do you ship it anywhere at all that the person wants?
Yeah, we ship it anywhere. We've had kits that gone out to Georgia. I think we had some in South Carolina, Gainesville, and the majority of it was also in the Miami, Broward area. So, we do ship, but anything that has been, local, we just decided to, invest that money back into a local delivery service.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
And so mhm.
what's the cost of a kit?
Yeah, so the cost of kit starts at $60, and it's 4 experiments that come in the kit. So ideally, a parent would do like 1 experiment a week.
Hmm.
Sometimes the kids, they run through the experiments, all week, and then they'll end up, purchasing the kit on a weekly basis. So we have that price if they want to just have the kit. If the parent does decide that, hey, I want my kid to learn some life skills and have full range and access to that curriculum, then there's a premium membership that they can pay for that. And then if they choose that, hey, I want my child to also become an expert in computer coding and have the kits and have access to our life skills content, then that's
Hmm.
also available to them as well. So the prices, it does start at $60 a month.
That's awesome because now you're not limited, or the kids aren't limited to just the things that's taught in their school or just to the
Right.
in their area, which is good because we already know that there is a like a huge gap when depending on the area that you're going to school in, and that's
Right.
not Broward, that's everywhere.
No, absolutely. And we hope
Yeah.
to actually, because Sean and I have had this conversation plenty of times where, we do hope that we can be able to serve the students who, maybe the parents can't afford our program, but maybe there's some form of grant that we can put ourselves in to provide these services, because no child should get left behind, especially in the midst of a pandemic. And just, on a mental standpoint of it, a lot of kids are not, they're not doing well,
Not doing anything at all.
or they're not doing anything. I've had parents that have called me and said, oh my goodness, my kid is just sitting home and they're gaining weight and they're on video games. And so, we have these programs in place for a
Mhm.
reason, just to, engage a child's creativity in their learning. However, of course, being able to provide our services to families that, may or may not be able to afford the service. So that has been our model prior to COVID. So it's now, just the transition of how do we, not even how, it's not even a matter of how, it's just us executing that same plan, but in the name of distant learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I like doing this show because I bring so much information to people. Because something like your program, a lot of people don't realize that program is available to them, and
Absolutely.
and even like with the exercise, they don't realize that these are things that they can do with their kids. People are working from home as well, and it's like, okay, what do I do to burn some of this energy off with my kid?
Yes.
Fitness at your
Right.
door. you know.
Mhm.
And not only will fitness at your door actually come to you in person, we also offer online training where it's video tutorials of me showing every exercise in detail on how to do it. Also coming in with the nutrition part of it, with our licensed nutritionist that builds a customized meal plan for you, and also the accountability group that you get through an online service. One of the big things that I noticed, I always thought I had to be in person or
Mhm.
have my trainers in person.
Yeah.
But man, people just need accountability. People need people to succeed. And even in business,
Right.
it's all about relationships. At the end of the day, the biggest corporations, it's about relationships. So once you build that relationship with like-minded people and you all have a common goal, that's when you get the results. Because majority of the times everybody thinks it's, oh, I can't do it. The people who get results are no different from you. They just decide to make a commitment and they have a plan. And, you know, once you have a goal, collectively as a group, we all get to this goal together. Right. And the one big thing I love about Nicole's program also, the self-learning. I think that's very important for kids on an educational level, and correlating it to fitness. What are you doing? Right. You're self-learning. You have to self-motivate yourself to actually exercise. You can get a trainer all you want, but if you don't do it by yourself, it won't ever work. That's right. So
yeah.
And that's true. That's very true. Because I mean, like, I started doing my walking and everything, and if I don't have someone there to hold me accountable, and it doesn't even have to be in person. A lot of times it's just, you know, my friends on my my, what do you call it, my Samsung Health app. You know, that you see how far they walk, and it's like, wait a minute, you walk 3 miles? Oh no, I'm gonna do 3.5.
Right, yeah.
You know, but guys, give me just a moment. I gotta run a quick commercial break. Okay, I'll be right back with you. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Would you like to be more tech savvy? Create your own compelling graphics, sales pages, and marketing tools? Would you like to effectively use social media to generate more leads? If the answer is yes, register for one or all of the 8-module digital marketing series. You will feel comfortable in a judge-free, nurturing environment as we get the work done. My name is Melissa Jane, and I am your tech trainer.
Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820. If your car could talk, it would say call Kervin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Kervin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving.
Sugar and jive, Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck.
Incorporate the fitness.
And we are back. All right. So we are here today talking to Nicole and her business partner. Oh gosh, and I'm gonna. How do you pronounce your name again?
Kashawn.
Yeah,
Kashawn. I don't know why I wanted to say Kashif, but I knew it wasn't Kashif. I knew. All right, but but yeah, and we also have Tony. She's commenting from Barbados. She's down there chilling. You know, they actually have that great thing going on in Barbados right now too, where they're inviting people to come and stay for a year if you want, and you can work from home down there. I'm like, sounds good. I'm really interested. Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
Barbados is nice, though. I've been to Barbados.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. You know, that's my homeland right there.
Yeah, that's right. You're from Barbados.
Yeah. I'm not flying back here, but I will. You know.
Yeah, Yeah. Wow.
But so you would and you ship to anywhere. So even if they wanted to order down in Barbados, you would ship your package down there as well too, right?
Yeah, actually, I might even hand deliver it myself, just for the sake of it.
Right.
Just to say I
Probably
went
like,
somewhere.
Kashad's like, fitness at your door. I'll be there in Barbados with you. Yeah, yeah.
Right? Right?
International tour, Caribbean tour.
Yeah, we got to come up with something like that, you know. So tell me a little bit more about some of the programs that you're working on. Both of you, you know, programs that you're working on in order to help with the new normal, because that's I still can't get used to saying the new normal. It's like, wow.
I know.
Wow. You want me to go
Yeah.
first?
Okay, go ahead.
I have a lot of virtual programs right now. I call them challenges. I had
Mhm.
one big challenge called the Transformation Challenge in COVID. What I found with people at home, very being just relaxing and trying to get something incorporated with their family. I did a $7 challenge. It was a 30-day transformation where meal plan, accountability group, the training, and it was all body weight. So you needed no equipment.
Mhm.
It was astonishing about the average weight loss was 10 to 12 pounds. And these are people that just were just starting out, never really had a routine. But it's crazy when you have a legit program that shows you everything to do 3 days a week. And on the off days, just active rest, whether you're swimming, walking, whatever the case is, and just the camaraderie of the community and everybody saying, oh, I checked in, I finished my workout, this is what I'm eating better, this is what I shouldn't be eating. It's so crazy how as humans we're natural competitors.
Yeah.
So when you get around people that in your eyes are like, you know, they're just like me, if they could do it, I could do it, right? And I
Mhm.
found this whole come to you program. We get so busy in life, and the one positive about COVID, it slowed us down as just people in general, because you know life gets so hectic. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we're working so much we probably don't even see our kids or get to spend that quality time. But what
Mhm.
fitness does is brings us together and actually gives that camaraderie. And I mean, at the end of the day, what better gift can you give your kids or the world, which
Right.
is but a healthy you, you know?
Right.
So
And another thing that was in conversation was the divorce rates were increasing.
Wow.
And,
Well, I
you
guess
know, yep, divorce rates were increasing.
but they never said anything about COVID.
Divorce rates were increasing. And, what we found is that when you take on a better approach to your health, you're able
Mhm.
to treat yourself with more empathy, and you're able to mirror that effect with other people. And so the great thing that I love about Kashan and I, as we got to know each other, was that we share a similar interest on keeping a healthy lifestyle. And many times, like, we'll call each other and I'm like, hey, what are you cooking? And he's like, oh, I'm making this and that. And I'm like, well, it's not better than what I'm making. And then,
Mhm.
we compete with each other in that way. And that's the healthy competition. And just today I was at Publix and I weighed myself, and I'm like 7 pounds lighter than I was when I was actually in like a freshman in high school. So I was like, what? And I've got 2 kids. Oh my goodness.
that's great. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I was
You're like 10 pounds altogether. I mean, look at you.
but it
My
just
arm way more than you do.
oh my god. But it just shows that that's the type of accountability that's needed. And so studies show that we're most likely to be who we are with the top 5 that we hang with.
Yes.
And so um that's been our main goal about wanting to implement these programs in the homeschool curriculum, and also just keeping it open to families, because Kashan and I were talking the other day, and he almost made me cry when he said that he's working with a guy and he was on the brink of a divorce, and the fitness part just saved his marriage. He was like, hey, I'm treating my wife better, like we're able to actually really connect on a deeper level now that you've provided us with this platform for our family to bond. And when you think about it, the amount of money that you spend going to Dave and Buster's, going to Chuck E. Cheese, Chick-fil-A, or whatever, just having a dinner meal, you could get that plus more when you actually invested into your health as well.
A lifelong benefit.
Yeah.
That's
No,
good.
it's definitely eye opening. When people tell you things like that, because you really just think like, okay, I'm training them, I'm there for them, but they call it personal training for a reason. If you can't connect with somebody, you're not even going to get the best version of them.
Mhm.
And it's just wild when people can value their health and not only get a result, but want to involve their family in it and just see all the benefits besides just the physical health. Because once he felt better and his attitude was better and his skin was better, he wasn't feeling as tired. He stopped
Mhm.
smoking cigarettes. He stopped beating up himself. So it was easy for him to talk to his wife, like Nicole said, and just really fall in love all over again. Because he was taking care of himself. So then he wanted to take care of everybody around him.
So wait, so you mean I got to stop smoking cigars? I got to give up my cigar?
Yeah, hand it over.
I'm not talking about Black and Mild now. I'm talking about Cohibas. I'm
So
talking
he
about
was.
Patel. I'm talking about the good stuff.
Oh my
You can
God.
live a little bit here and there.
I'm gonna call
just
that
can't be
1-800
everything.
number on you, Steve. You keep playing.
I'm serious. Yeah, I'm serious. I like that. I like my cigar with that nice brandy. You know what I mean, every once in a while. That's what I'm talking about.
As
You
long
know.
as you getting your walk every day.
Oh
But you
yeah.
know what? The thing is too, like, for me, I used to have like an addiction to sugar. Like that has always been my thing. Candy, anything that was just sweet. And once I took better control of my health, don't get me wrong, I love a sweet drink. I love a Starburst every once in a while, but when you put so much, when you dedicate so much consistency, and your why has to be deeper than just the physical part of it. So when I work with clients, there's a lady that I also train, and she'll, say, hey, I want to drop some weight, or, I want to, be a better mom to my kids. And I said, well, whatever your goal is, it's going to start with you feeling good about yourself. I said, I'd rather you feel good than to look good.
Mm, true.
And that's just the ultimate get down of it. If you feel good, then everything else will fall into place. And so, when I started to invest a lot of that, my time, my energy, my resources, and inclusive, money into a better health, there's times like I get in a good workout and I could probably see like a nice, like, chicken sandwich or some French fries or whatever. But I just know, like, do I really want to waste everything that I just did? And even, and for me, sometimes the more you tell me no, the more I want it. So then I'll go ahead and I'll just take a French fry and I'll eat it. My stomach starts hurting. I'm like, okay, well, that's why it's just not the time for that right now. So you'll know, and I tell people with these diets and stuff, don't go so hard on yourself, because your body will tell you when enough is enough. And when your body's like, okay, I can't take it anymore, then that's when you'll know, okay, then this is how we cut down and do it in moderation. So
Body only craves what you want.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, I was saying the body only craves what you want. Obviously, sugar being fat promoting, it's your body won't want sugar if you're not constantly feeding it sugar. And biggest thing she said, as far as the results, even with majority of clients and kids I work with, the first thing you have to, before you even get the result, the physical result, is the mindset shift. Once you actually get the mindset shift of, I'm not just doing this because this trainer's coming to punish me. I'm not just doing this because I want to look good. I'm not just doing this because I see social media and I want to look like this person. I'm doing this because this is going to be better for me in the long term. I'm going to be able to watch my kids graduate. I'm going to be able to, my knees will stop hurting because I've lost a little bit of that weight. All the outside things of this, it's all about this mindset shift.
Yeah, and sugar, it triggers so much, with the central nervous system, and it promotes anxiety, and these are like the number one causes and leading things that go into depression. And so it's like, when that happens, then what? Then what? That's pretty much the where we can go on and on and on about that. So before it even gets there, like I said with Kashawn, I said, when we're working with families, the number one thing is to, connect with the families in a way that where we send our trainers where the personalities match, because that's how you can establish trust, right?
Hmm.
Because we can't just say, hey, Kidology is going to come here to educate your child and to train them, maybe get them fluent in another language, help them become better communicators and expressing their feelings. We can do all of these great things, but it's how do we establish trust going into these homes? How do we establish that connection? And when you find, like, many times where it'll come up in meetings. I go to the attendance meetings, or maybe we'll have a meeting for a grant, and they'll talk about attendance. And if you do a consensus with some of the students, they'll talk about, at least one of the things in the Maslow hierarchy of needs that are not being met. And majority of it is always that connection. Do we feel connected? Do we feel embraced? Do we feel that, we can relate to, the environment, or, what the educator is saying? And so
Hmm.
now, knowing the issue and knowing the problem, and also being a parent myself, putting myself in the front seat of this would pretty much be, how would I want my child to learn? So, it's this, the COVID is definitely, it's a disaster. So many people have died from it. It's the
Hmm.
sadness part of it. However, the other side of it is, okay, so what can I do to transition, this pandemic to actually being something that is, going to work in my favor and be beneficial for my family?
And one of the things I can honestly say is, by me getting out doing my walking in the morning, it allows me to clear my mind before I start my day. It used
Mm-hmm.
to be, you get up in the morning, you're like, oh, I got to do this, got to do that. But you know what? I walk 3 miles in the morning during the week, and I do 7 miles on weekend, and each morning on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I walk and come back, I'm tired. Number one, you know,
Yeah.
but it actually clears my mind. I think a lot. I Now I don't even listen to my radio, to my music. I just walk and think, and it's like I'm planning my day. I'm looking at what I have to do, putting it in priority, and and stuff like that. And I find that I get a lot more done during the day now because of that time by myself, that time with me. Because
Right.
it's like, a lot of us, we don't spend that time with ourselves. You ask the average person, what is it that you like, and they don't know, because they've never thought about it. I mean, they'll come up and say, "Oh, I like pizza. I like this. I like." No, no, no. What do you like? What is it that you like? Not what do you want to eat. What do you like? What do you
Right.
enjoy? What's the one thing that you can say, I can do this the rest of my life,
Right.
if I didn't have to worry about money? And most people can't tell you, but I'll tell you, walking in the morning, it,
Therapeutic.
it's really, yeah, it's very therapeutic. And it's like, sometimes it depends on how early I go. I get to see the sun come up too, and I'm like, wow.
Yes, yes, yes. And when you talk about Barbados, it actually triggered something. I don't know if I told you, but I used to live in Grenada, West Indies, and being in that Caribbean island actually was, it gave me an opportunity to appreciate Mother Nature so much. It gave me an opportunity to slow down. So that's why when they were like quarantine, I was like, yeah, okay, like I did that before.
Yeah,
you know,
Grenada, bro, the land of spices.
Yes, yes. And so just being there, and then also with, the organic fruits, and, growing up here in America, you know, when I was growing up in school, they didn't teach us about organic and what's not organic. They were just like, hey, eat your meat, eggs, cheese, and, the
And
whole food.
dairy, the food
Yeah,
chain.
the whole food pyramid, right? But then I'm like, but wait, I'm lactose intolerant. So, like, how am I, it's not agreeing with my body. And so, anyways, so fast forward, I'm living in Grenada, and everyone there is just so friendly. We had neighbors bringing us star fruit. They call it different things in different cultures, but
Yeah.
yeah, star fruits, Guinnep, sapodilla. I mean, all types of star apple, just amazing stuff. And so, never once do you have to question there, is this organic? Is
Is
this
this natural?
non-GMO? Is it? It's just, hey, it grew off a, such and such yard. And then, even being in Honduras prior to the pandemic, I was in La Ceiba, Honduras for about a week, and every morning for breakfast, we'd get like a big plate, and we'll have like burro banana, papaya, apples, oranges, grapes. Actually, the grapes with the seeds in it, not seedless grapes, like the grapes with the seeds in it. And I was going to town just every morning having that plate. And I remember a couple of days after I came back, I went to have lunch with a colleague and I asked for a side of avocado and I just could not eat it. And I was like, it's something in the Caribbean soil that makes the produce so fresh that we just don't have it right here. So
we can't compare.
We can't compare it.
The other day, this was months ago. I was talking to someone about grapes and about different foods that we see now in Publix and different supermarkets, and they were talking about organic seedless grape. I'm like, okay, let's think about this.
Yeah.
Organic seedless grape.
Right.
It has to reproduce. Just the fact that it doesn't have a seed meant that you had to do something to make it it grow. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now I was at Publix the other day and I'm seeing cotton candy grapes and what do you do?
Yeah, you didn't know about that? Yeah, it comes like in a pink label. Yeah.
What do you do? You put cotton candy in the soil and it grows.
Yeah.
And now they have plum and kumquat, and now it's called like plumquat or whatever. I'm like, these people are coming up with some crap, and it's like, and people are buying it, you know.
Yeah, they're buying it. Yeah, they're feeding into the hype. they're going into all of that.
Lack of preservatives in their food makes it delicious, which is true. Yeah. And I'm telling you, it's like it's so much that we take for granted when we're living in the islands until we get here. Because you know what, we always hear about about the things in America. Oh, the food is cheap. This is cheap. Of course, it's cheap. It's not real.
Not real.
Right. Exactly.
You know,
everything's cheap. That's not real.
Right. Yeah. Anything that's cheap, honestly. But then sometimes too, I have to ask myself, well, like Nicole, what is cheap to you? Right. And so I was also teaching my kids when we were all together doing a PE class. We had about 72 kids that we were working with at this school, and every Friday would be dedicated to the healthy eating and living. And we made our own curriculum that we followed. And one thing I taught my kids after we started a garden, I had them make alkaline vegetables. Plant. So such as like cucumbers, kale, cherries, tomatoes, and they were seeing their garden actually manifest in their classroom. It also changed the energy of, the classroom. It brought joy. They had their pots painted, so everybody knew exactly which one was which. But one thing I was teaching them is, when you go out to the grocery store, even if you don't know if it's organic or not, there's a way to visibly tell how it's organic. And if it is organic, it's not going to have that shiny,
perfect look.
Film, that perfect look that it has. It'll be more like a matte finish. You're like, well, what's a matte finish? And so, we ended up, just kind of dissecting the two for them to see. And, so anything that, and another thing is too, with this pandemic, a lot of people have been growing their own gardens. Because there's been a fear of a food shortage happening and, people not wanting to leave their home. So they have more time to, harvest their crops, in their backyard. So, but these are all good things that are coming out of this quarantine season.
But and I see that as going around Fort Lauderdale, even before the pandemic, we had a few places that were starting to do the community gardens. And Lauderdale Lakes, they have one on 31st. The commissioner, what's her name, Beverly Williams, I believe her name is, Commissioner Williams. She's been running that one for years. As a matter of fact, what's so about it is at Boyd Anderson High School, at Lakes Middle School, and at Oriole Elementary School, if a kid gets detention and they get like Saturday detention, she would invite them to come over there. This way they don't have to sit in a room. And at first some of the kids were like, want to do that, but then once they do it, after the detention is over, they still want to come back and help. And vegetables home with them and stuff like that. So it works out really well. Guys, give me 2 minutes. I got to run a quick commercial break. All right.
Okay. No problem.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Army of Love. Hey!
wonder from the things I do.
We are the opening act for Arcade Fire.
The past will always come.
Morning, Mr. Biggs. Thanks for the guitar. This thing is amazing.
Who's that?
The lieutenant upstairs.
You're writing a lot of songs?
I actually wrote a song yesterday.
You did?
It's about it not being easy growing up.
I hear your friend's got some sick skills.
Sure does.
I'm Gina.
Oh,
Do you know anything about the man who owned that tailor?
Vaughn Jackson, lead singer of Army of Love. Your sister, right? That him?
Do you believe in reincarnation? What if we were all meant to be together? You, me, Vaughn, the band, just in a different way, in a different time. Is that so crazy? You guys ready to meet your new frontman?
Oh my God. It's Army of Love.
You were meant to be a part of this family.
Where did you find this kid?
I didn't. He found me.
I see you met Oak.
How's you looking fine as hell? You brown sugar piece of candy.
All right, and we're back. That movie is actually it's out now. It's called Mighty Oak, and we're gonna be interviewing the whole cast. Well, pretty much all next week. Every day is gonna be a different person from the cast that's gonna be on the show. So you guys don't want to miss that. All right, it's gonna be pretty cool. So we're back, and we are here talking to the Kidology and the fitness experts, and we're talking about different things that you can do for your children while they're on. I hate to say on lockdown and make them sound like they're in juvenile detention center, but
Quarantine.
while they're in quarantine, there you go. Then that sounds like one of those horror movies. You know, there was a movie named Quarantine, as a matter of fact, which was pretty cool. What's going on now, as a matter of fact. But yeah, about some of the things that's going on, and you know, guys, I you know, to my viewers, I don't want you to feel like you're in this alone. There are people out there that can help you. If you need to get your kid that exercise, that energy, you got fitness at your door. I mean, that it doesn't get easier than that. They come to you. You don't even have to take them anywhere. So for those of you that are working at home and your kids, just keep bugging you or whatever, get that trainer to come to the door. He'll put them to work.
Yeah.
They'll sleep good, I promise you.
Yeah, and it's good to just burn off that energy. And you know, it's amazing what, you know, a person can do, especially when they change the environment in your home. And you know, like Father's Day came and I did a brunch, and I was like, wow, I didn't know my home could get this pretty, like with all the decorations, the tables, the chairs.
Right.
I just fell in love with my home all over again. I was like, wow. So you know, to actually have that being brought to the home creates so much harmony. And you know, it's not as, you know, bad as, you know, people make it to seem, especially for a lot of extroverts like myself, you know, where I thrive off of social interaction and being around people. Many times I'll work when I'll be in the office. I'll go to the office probably to like print, but then I'll go over to like another coffee shop or an outdoor garden, you know, with my hotspot. So I have my secure internet connection, and I'll just be, you know, that'll be my office from, you know, 10 to 4, however long that I was there. So when the quarantine happened, it was like muscle memory for me. I was like, okay, well, I used to live in Grenada, you know, although I went out many times, but I also do recall just being in the house because it was just too hot to walk around, especially with the young child. Like, you know, that's just, the umbrella was so necessary being in Grenada. So this was like muscle memory. And, you know, we actually made it very fun and effective. Kidology was currently just recently spotlighted in the Florida Atlantic University Research Division for a success story. And the title of it is when life gives you a pandemic. And it's a picture of my daughter and I looking at the DIY kit like, ooh, I want to get in there. And, and so the success story highlights pretty much how we were able to transition and make our business relevant and effective for, the people that we're servicing during COVID. So, I always tell Kashawn, it's like, it's not, what we do, it's why we do it. And so why we do it is deeper. Parents will say, your program has helped save our marriage. Your program has helped my child develop more confidence or even cultural awareness. So there's so many different aspects that our program can be utilized for a child's growth and development.
Now, one of the other things too that I wanted to ask about was, and now that you just mentioned that, like growth and development, what about like children that are autistic or children that have dexterity issues? Do you help with that? Is this? Not that I want to call it an official therapy, but is this a home kind of therapy that that the parents can use?
Yeah. So with the assistance of a therapist, or even with the parents there, Kidology, we've worked with children that have autism and hearing disorders and, mild disabilities, mild documented disabilities as well. So with the Center of Hearing and Communications, we've worked with the students directly there at their school. We put on a dance performance. They did a wonderful job. And it was amazing just to see all of the students come together and actively, participate in the program that we were offering. And it was a success. So, our program is not, limited to, a particular group of students. So we welcome our program for any parent that is interested in their child participating in our program. So
I wanted to add on to that. That personally touches me because my cousin, pretty much my nephew, my aunt's son has autism. He's about 14 years old now, so that's something that's always been in our family, and it's a proven fact that physical activity does give, with the wide spectrum, gives the release to help with speech most of the times with autism, because autistic kids are, and any chronic illnesses in general, they're extremely smart. So with physical activity, that gives them more another outlet to kind of communicate in a different way. So it's very beneficial. I've personally dealt with a lot of chronic illnesses or disabilities, either children in wheelchairs to lower extremity injuries, rehabilitation after knee surgery, shoulder injuries, autism. So Fitness at Your Door and Kidology, we've dealt with them all, and it's just great to know that no one's left behind. Fitness, education can all be incorporated, no matter who it is, and it's just a blessing to be able to be a part of that.
That's awesome, because there are a lot of parents out there that they don't know how to do it at home themselves, and and then now with them not being able to go into the hospitals and go into different places that they normally would, it's great to know that these services can actually come to them. That's great. And to some of the parents out there, I don't know if you guys like your health spending accounts or whatever, but you can submit those and submit the receipt. It's still therapy. Yeah, I'm serious. You guys could do it, and you just make it happen. And so it's almost time for me to head back to work to do that 1 minute wrap up. So if you guys, you know how it is, I'm still on a 9 to 5 kind of clock. I'm not like you guys. I'm not up there yet,
You'll be there soon, trust me.
One of these days, God willing, so go ahead and give me that 1 minute wrap up, and any kind of nugget of information you want to leave with my viewers.
Yes. So if anybody here is interested in having Fitness at Your Door and Kidology incorporate our program into your household and for your family and your children, please visit us on the web at www.kidologyenterprises.com and
www.fitnessatyourdoor.com.
Okay.
Or getkfit.com also.
Yes.
All right, awesome. All right, guys, thanks very much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. You guys
Yes,
brought a
thank
lot of
you.
information, and there's a lot that I think that my viewers would be able to take away from this right now. So I thank you, and as always, I invite you guys to come on the show anytime you want. I apologize that we got started a little bit late, but
Fine.
other work calls. All right, but I'll definitely talk to you guys later. Okay.
I
All right.
appreciate you having us.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, so hey Sharon, what's going on? How's everything? Um, Antoinette is saying this is Antoinette. Yep. Good afternoon from Barbados. I know. I mean, I'm telling you, man, the 246 is always going to be home. No matter where I go. It was how they say, no matter where I roam, Barbados is going to be home. All right, cool beans, cool. All right, so guys, again, it's a little after 1. It's time for me to head back to work, but you guys have all the information right there. I mean, you have the do-it-yourself kits that you can order from home. You can order and do the things from home with your kids just to get them interested in different things, grow a garden, do whatever it is, whatever it takes. It's time for us to get back to to the natural stages and start doing the things with our kids that we were doing when we grew up. I was talking to another friend of mine before, and we were talking about when we were kids, and we used to make scooters, and we used to make all these things. And now people run into can't say Toys R Us because there's no more Toys R Us, but people run into Walmart and buy scooters. What? We used to make those. People are making baseball bat and everything, and I'm buying them, and I'm not saying don't buy it. But if you grew up in New York, whether you're in Brooklyn or Queens or whatever, you played stickball. You know what I mean? You take the broom handle and then you play stickball, or you play if you're in the islands, you play cricket with a little piece of wood that was left back when they built a house or whatever. You know what I mean? So these are things that we have to start doing. We have to teach our kids to work with their minds. Not just to go in and just buy things, all the time from the store, but we got to teach them how to work with our minds. I remember going to Barbados in the summertime, and we used to do things like we would take just the tree branches from the coconut trees, and we would like make a little fort or a little hut, if as we call it, like sometimes out in the middle of the field or whatever. And you know what? We were kids, but we used to make it so well that if it rained, we didn't get wet. We were on the inside of that thing. We didn't get wet, and we were kids. Now you look at it, and these are the same things that we're paying architects for. But let's be for real. We didn't realize that we were architects at 10 and 11 years old, 15 years old. We were building everything. And some of it was like, we just didn't realize that we didn't have the money to buy these things. We just realized that we could just use whatever scraps were around to build, and most of you guys from the islands know what I'm talking about. You get that wheel, the what you call it, from the bicycle wheel, and take the spokes and everything out. You use a stick, and you're just using that to push it along and turn it. Man, I tell you, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's fun. But anyhow, long story short, time to get back to work. But guys, honestly though, if you guys need any services or anything like that, go out to the website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. All right. Yeah, my mom said now it's a tiki hut. That's true. Yeah, the things that we used to do when we had when we would do the branches, now people are putting them in the backyard as a tiki hut and paying thousands of dollars for it. But go out to lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, click on the Get Help section. In that section, you're going to see things like 211 if you need help with your rent, your light. 211 is there to help you no matter where in the United States you are. Feed in America also has where the food banks are if you need food. No matter where in the United States you are, you put in your zip code and boom, it tells you. We have suicide prevention hotline. So if you guys need help, again, people are out there that are home and they are feeling depressed. They're feeling confined, all these different things. These services are out there. Just go to the website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, and click on the link. It'll take you right to whatever service it is that you need. All right. Look at the Missing and Exploited Children Network. Put your zip code. It'll tell you about the ones that are missing. There's a young lady right now here in, I believe she's in Miramar, or she was in Miramar at the Walmart just on University and Pines, I believe it is. And she's been missing for a couple of days. Her little kid was wandering around on the street. That's where they found him. And they're still looking for her. Go out to the Missing and Exploited Children's Network, put in your zip code, and you're going to see people that are missing. All right. You can help bring one of these people home. Now go also with one of the things I want you guys to do is do a random act of kindness for a stranger. Go out there and help someone today, because tomorrow that person that needs help could be you. All right. If you don't want to give them money, like I always say, go to McDonald's, Burger King, wherever, buy them one of those $1 sandwiches. It might not be the healthy food that Nicole and them are talking about, but they'll still appreciate it. All right. And give it to them. It don't make a difference. Some people are going to say, oh, well, then they might not eat it. You know what? Let's stop coming up with excuses and let's just do it. If you do it from your heart, that's all that counts. That's all that matters. Do it from your heart. All right. All right, guys. As always, I thank you very much for being on Lunchtime Talk with Steve. Check us out tomorrow. We're going to have another interesting conversation. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's like, we are our brother's keeper. All right. Definitely. Let's make this happen. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace, people. Please visit lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com if you would like to be a guest or advertise on the show. If you're interested in any of the products or services you saw on the show today, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com. Thank you.